We have some good news and some bad news on the pension front when it comes to the announcements in the budget on November 26th, which is now 15 days away. So, what we're going to do in this video is cover both the good and the bad, and I'm going to do a scribe to explain how the bad side of this might work if it does indeed get announced on November 26th. Now, if you don't already know, we will be covering the budget live on the day. So if you want live commentary, you want to follow along with the announcements and what the reaction is going to be, then by all means make sure that you bookmark the channel for November 26th, because I'll be here giving my thoughts and doing what we need to do and stimulating conversation. Now, before we get started into all of this, we're trying to get to 80,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you get value, and only if you get value from this video, please consider subscribing. It means that you'll be able to see other videos like this when I upload them. And if you don't mind, please hit that like button as well. It just signals to the YouTube algorithm that you got value from it. And it means that the algorithm will then put it in front of other people who may also stand to benefit from watching this video as well. Let's have a look at the good news part of this first, shall we? So it says here, Treasury rules out pension lump sum raid. Now, if we go to the first paragraph, Rachel Reeves will not cut the tax-free pension lump sum limit in the budget this month. Officials have confirmed. Now, if you don't know what this is around your tax-free cash, and I made a video about this maybe about a month, maybe 2 months ago, in the fact that the current limit for the maximum amount you can take from your pension pot using the tax-free cash mechanism is in black here, £268,275. Now, with tax-free cash, it's 25% of the value of your pension pot when you get to 55 or 57, I think it is now, or it will be 57. So when you do the maths on 268,000, that means you've got a portfolio over £1,000,000, which isn't everyone. But in simple terms, if you had £100,000 in your pension pot, when you get to that point where you can trigger it, you get £25,000 out completely tax-free. You could take it as a lump sum, or you can take it as a series of withdrawals, and that will be tax-free. The rumor was this was going to be reduced down to £100,000. Torsten Bell, and you just need to see this, I mean, Jesus, Torsten Bell, the pensions minister, previously advocated cutting the lump sum to just £40,000. I mean, that's savage, absolutely savage. But we have it now confirmed officially that this will not be touched in the budget on November 26th. What will be touched, because naturally, if they're giving you something, they take away something. It has to be a give and a take, push and pull. They are going to be targeting salary sacrifice. And that's what we're going to cover here. So Miss Reeves is preparing to target national insurance relief by restricting the maximum amount that can be put into a pot tax-free. The raid will be targeted at so-called salary sacrifice schemes, which allows workers to put money into their retirement pots before it's subject to any income tax or NI. Companies benefit from the lower employer NI contributions when staff take advantage of these schemes because the tax is only levied on pay left over after pension contributions. Now, I think this is a really important topic to talk about because from the demographics on the channel, I know that there'll be some of you and a good number of you in that higher earning bracket. And typically, let's go over to the scribe actually. Typically with your salary sacrifice, in this example, I'm going to use 110,000 as the example, right? Because when you earn 110,000, what starts to happen is that you, get my pen to work, you start to lose your personal allowance the minute you start earning over £100,000. So your personal allowance is 12,570. At £110,000, you've lost some of this personal allowance. And the reason why a lot of people will do salary sacrifices because by doing so, not only do you get to keep your personal allowance and make sure that's intact, you reduce your take-home pay, which reduces your overall tax liability or the amount that you pay in tax. Now, as it currently stands, if you didn't salary sacrifice, you're paying income tax and national insurance on all of the £110,000 that you are paying. But your employer is also paying NI on that £110,000 that they're paying you to the tune of 13.8%, in which in this case is 15,180. Now, how it typically works at the minute is if you wanted to salary sacrifice per se, let's just say you wanted to do £20,000, okay? So that will bring your take home pay to before tax, £90,000, which means that you keep your personal allowance, but your £20,000 you could salary sacrifice, right? And this will go into your pension, okay? And because there is no cap on the amount that you can salary sacrifice from your salary into your pension right now, it means that you don't pay income tax on the £20,000 and your employer doesn't have to pay employee on the employee tax, NI tax on £20,000 going into the pension. So from a government point of view, it costs them money. Now, what they're suggesting is going to happen next is as follows. So now let's just use the same example of you have £110,000, okay? This is your salary. So let's just say you still wanted to salary sacrifice 20K into your pension. What they're saying now is they're going to introduce a cap. So the cap might be £10,000, which means that you can move £10,000 in, no income tax, no national insurance on your end. That's completely fine. But the £10,000 over and above that 10K limit will still be subject to NI from your employer, which is going to rake in a lot of money for the government. Now, we don't know what the caps are going to look like just yet. We are going to have to wait until November 26th to find out specifically. But this is what they're looking to target. Now, there are a couple of concerns that have come to fruition in some of the commentary right now, and that is around the fact that, if you are using salary sacrifice to put more money into your pension and have a cherry on top of the cake that you're paying less income tax and less national insurance, then it may deter people from investing and putting money into their pension. And we already know that there is a pension crisis looming with the fact that we're not paying enough into our pensions. And by the way, you can do this whether you're earning £110,000 or £40,000, £50,000, it doesn't really matter. If you don't need the additional amount and you can get by without the additional amount, anyone can salary sacrifice right now. And there's a huge question mark over whether this disincentivizes people in investing for the future. And I think that is a legitimate question to ask. I think for me personally, because I'm really passionate about pensions and I'm really passionate about that idea of putting money into the future because it's going to serve you when you're no longer able to work or don't want to work. I mean, my dad, he died without having a pension pot. He had to work until he died because he realized in his late 50s that he didn't have a pension. So this is something that is really close to my heart. But what I fear is going to happen is that she'll announce this in November, and as we normally do, we'll just accept it and we'll just get on with it. And really, what's the alternative? There isn't really an alternative. People will talk about, I'm seeing a lot about civil discourse if they announce this and if they announce that, but is that the right answer? It feels as though this will be a little bit of a stick to people who are using salary sacrifice. And I would say maybe it's a privilege if you're using salary sacrifice, but if you're in what I would describe as a hard-hitting, high-pressure career where you've worked your way up to be able to earn £120,000, £130,000, where salary sacrifice really makes a difference, is it really a privilege or is it hard work that got you there? This is a really, really strange one. I'd love to know what you think in the comment section down below. So give me your thoughts. Let me know. Will this impact you if you're using salary sacrifice already? And if it is going to impact you, do you have any ideas on what you're going to do? I mean, seeking some advice will be great. I'm sure once it is announced, if it is announced, there'll be other mitigation tactics that will come to bear. But I'd love to know your initial thoughts right now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you tomorrow. And like I said, if you haven't already subscribed and you got value from this video, please consider subscribing. It will be great to have you here, and tap that like button before you leave as well. Catch you later. Cheers.